Hi guys, it's Comfort again. I'm coming to you today with another video. So today I'm going to be doing a length check, and I'm also going to be giving you 5 things to consider when getting locks. So number one thing is the length check. Okay, so I'm going to pick a lock, and I've chosen this one. It's just a random one. It's not like the longest lock on my head. They should all be around the same length because they were all started at the same time and my hair was the same length when I started it. But there has been occasions where I've started some locks in the middle due to various reasons. One of them being that I had a bald patch at one point, and then another reason when I cut my hair by accident. Tip for you: keep scissors away from your hair. And then so I started about 2 or 3, I think. But yeah, this is just a random lock that I'm going to use to measure. So this is quite fun. It's very fun. It's fun. And so my hair is 2 years old. It's going to 3 years old. It'll be 3 years in January. So this is the end of the lock, and that is 8.5. So like stopped here. So say like 8.5. So I'll say, because I've done a measurement before, and it was like 9, but I'll go with 8.5 since I've got people watching me here. So 8.5. So we'll say 8.5 then. So I'll actually show you as well the back of my hair as well, because some people would want to know. Obviously, those of you who have been journeying with me since the beginning would like to know how long it is now. So how long it is. And I've just actually washed it, and I put some, so I washed and dried, towel dried, and then put some coconut oil and shea butter as I usually do, which is this mixture here. And it should really look like this when it's done, when you mix it. If you're interested in finding out a bit more about how I mix this, then please let me know. It's a very simple mixture, but if you want to know the exact measurements, I don't usually use the exact measurements, but I can do a quick tutorial for you. If you're interested, just please comment down below. And that's what I use to moisturize my hair. I don't use anything else. Well, I do actually sulfate for my scalp, because I do have a bit of dandruff on my scalp, so I use sulfate especially when my scalp is itchy. And then Jamaican black castor oil for my edges. But apart from that, I don't use anything else. I'm looking right over to my dressing table to just double check that I don't use anything else, but no. The other thing I have there is olive oil sheen spray, which I hardly ever use. I don't think I've ever used it actually on my hair. Maybe I have. But yeah, these are the things that I mainly use. I haven't used the Jamaican black castor oil in a while, but I do use it mainly for my edges every now and then. And it really does work actually. If you use it very, very well, like you use it every day, you'll see your hair just grow supernaturally, in fact. So yes, so I'll be going through the 5 tips or 5 things to consider when getting locks, and I hope you enjoy this video. So number 1 thing is to consider is the fact that your hair type will determine how quickly your locks form. So I have 4B hair, I believe. I think it's 4B. It might be 4C, but I think it's 4B. And so my hair is very tightly coiled. And so when I got the locks, I think it started budding within the 1st or 2nd month. And budding basically means that in a lock, so when you start your locks, you have each lock will start budding, and budding is when it mats at certain different points within the lock. So like, like a flower bud, and that's when it starts matting. and so you'll see like different balls, you can say, in between that lock, and that's when it's starting to form as a lock. It's starting to mat. So if you were to, for example, put a comb through it, it would be a bit more difficult to do that, because it's starting to bud, it's starting to mat together. And so it buds at different stages. So you have different buds, and then eventually you should have a lock at the end of that, but it goes in stages and it doesn't just happen automatically. So your hair type will determine how quickly your hair buds and how quickly it forms into a lock. So you can't, me, I have 4B hair, so it's tightly coiled, and so it budded a lot quicker than someone maybe who has 3B hair, which is like, or 3C hair, which is more wavy, and the strands are not so coiled, they're more wavy strands. So I think it's something to consider when you want to start locks, because you wouldn't want to go by someone else's hair type to determine when your hair will lock, because some people may say, oh, but maybe Comfort's hair, by 6 months her hair was already fully locked, and it was growing and really fast. You can't really compare it. I think you should go by your own hair type and see how it goes. Then the second thing to consider is that are you prepared to have not a regimen, but a routine for your hair? So when I had loose hair, I did practically the same thing, but when you have loose natural hair, people who have loose natural hair, they know that a lot goes into it, and sometimes you've just run out of ideas of what can I do to my hair. So with that one, the second tip would be to continue to maintain hydration with your hair. Make sure that you are consistently making sure your hair's not dry, because it can get dry. And plus, you have to remember that the hydration that you get, so for example, if you're focusing just on your natural oils and your natural just your body to automatically hydrate itself through what you drink, the hydration that you get here will not be the same hydration that your hair will get here, because this is far from the root. So just remember that. And then the third tip would be also maintain moisturization. So with the same tip, the moisturizer, so your natural oils from your scalp that go into your hair here will not be what you'll get here, because it's so far away from the root. So be mindful of that. Moisturize your hair, keep it from being dry. You can feel it when your hair is dry because it feels crispy. I often use the term crispy because it sounds like, when you hold onto it, it sounds crunchy, and that's not a good sign. So make sure you hydrate and moisturize. So that's tip number 2 and tip number 3. Then tip number 4, everybody say 4, is that the ends sometimes can become a bit grotty, and it can be a bit dirty sometimes. So the one that I'm holding on to doesn't, and I can't actually find at the moment one that does, but it can get a bit dirty, and sometimes the hair can attract dust, it can attract things, and so it tends to collect at the end. And so you may find like a grey bit at the end of the lock. What I try to do to combat that is, when I wash my hair, I usually wash it like this at the ends. Not too much, because you don't want to drain your hair. You don't want to it's not clothing, so you need to be careful. It's still hair, but I do try and wash it like that, just to take it out a little bit if there's anything in it. So yeah, just be mindful of that. If you're someone who may find that an issue, with your ends being a bit grotty every now and then maybe you may not want to do it. But I don't think it's that big of a deal, because sometimes occasionally I have cut the ends if it's really, really grotty and you can't seem to get it out. Like sometimes you can use a toothpick. I've used a toothpick before to take some things out, but I've also cut it if it's really, really, really grotty and I can't seem to get anything out. I will cut it, but I haven't done that in a while. So yeah, that's the fourth tip. And then the fifth tip is to keep your edges. So my edges now, they're looking better, so I don't have anything to complain about now. But I have had times where, because I put my hair back when I go to work, it pulls on the edges, and then I find bald patch. And when I touch my hair here, before I would touch my scalp rather than my hair, which wasn't very nice. So I've been applying Jamaican black castor oil, as I said earlier, and I do that. I don't do it as routinely as I used to, but it's fine. So just I would if you were considering to style your hair very often, I would say just sometimes style it and then let it have a breather for maybe 2 months and then go back to styling it, because styling also can put some tension on your edges, and it can make it suffer and put tension on it, and then you get bald patches, you know, the hair doesn't grow as well, and it's just all the hair becomes very weak in that area. So just be mindful of that. Yeah, so those are the things I believe to consider when you want to start locks. A lot of people do ask me about locks. Another thing, a bonus one to consider is the strength of your hair and how, because sometimes the locks can thin out, and so just consider that. Consider also the technique that you will use in order to retwist or to relock your hair. So at the moment I do interlocking, which is where you weave the roots of the hair, so the bits at the bottom, the bits that grow, where you weave it, like you use like a crochet stick, or you can use different tools actually. I've used the hairpin before, or bobby pin as American people call it. So you can do that, and then there's another technique to a retwist, palm rolling technique, where you palm roll in your hair and you make it until it's all nice and smooth and it's gone into a twist like that. So there's different methods you can use, but I would say try out the method that works for you. So initially I started retwisting my hair, and I may start retwisting it again. There's pros and cons to both, but I just found that it was just becoming a futile effort of retwisting my hair, because I did it myself and then it would unravel and stuff. And because I'm someone who has chosen to wash my hair a bit more frequently than I've been advised to, I was just like, I'll interlock, because with interlocking you can wash your hair. You can leave the salon and wash your hair on that day that you interlock. It's not like retwisting, where if you wash it, if you wash out the product, you will basically, your hair won't lock. So yeah, those are things to consider when starting locks. Different techniques, styling, nutrition, obviously, I mean, moisturization, hydration, nutrition, obviously eating well, but that's a normal thing for all types of hair anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I really appreciate you watching this video. Please stay tuned for the next one. The next one will not be about hair, it will be about something else, but stay tuned to find out what it'll be about. So I really appreciate you all, take care and see you in the next video. Bye.